How are you guys doing? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I hope wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you're loving yourself and you're loving the people you're with, because that is what the Lord tells us to do, is love everybody like you want to be loved, baby. Now, guys, let's talk about the movie that we're going to get into today. It's from 1941, directed by Mr. John Huston. This is the Maltese Falcon, guys. This is one of the best noir films ever made. One of the best, like, private eye, I call them private eye gumshoe films. But this is one of the best that's ever made, guys. This has got Humphrey Bogart, Peter Lorre, Ward Bond from, what is it, Wagon Train or whatever. It's got a lot of great actors from back in the day, guys. Now, before we get into this, before we get into all this skullduggery, hit that like and subscribe button for me so that you can get notified whenever we post cool new stuff. But, guys, today, the Maltese Falcon. This movie is about a gumshoe, a private detective. He gets entangled up in some stuff, winds up costing his partner his life. He gets, he gets on this wild goose chase. Things happen, people die, and it is an excellent film, guys. So, I'm a big Humphrey Bogart fan. Have been since I was probably in my early 20s. My grandfather, growing up, he was a huge Humphrey Bogart fan, and I'm sure that I saw this when I was a child. When I was probably 10 or 11 years old, I probably saw this with my granddad some hot, blustery Louisiana afternoon during the summer vacation. I'm sure I saw this with him because I remember seeing this, but I don't remember seeing this. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it. And so I decided the other day, I was looking through my digital collection, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to go through things that I haven't seen, that I've purchased, and I'm just going to make a watch list out of that. And Maltese Falcon was at the top of that list. And so the other day I said, you know what, let's just put it on. Let's put on the Maltese Falcon. Let's check it out finally. And guys, this was an amazing film. It really was. Humphrey Bogart is such a badass. I mean, he really is, guys. In this film, he meets a chick. She says, hey, I need you to help me. There's this guy. I need you to look into him. He sends his partner to do it. His partner winds up dead. The guy that he's trailing winds up dead. Come to find out, there's this bird that is... And now, the Maltese Falcon is this, like, statue of a falcon. But it's supposed to be like a Fabergé egg, kind of like diamond encrusted. Very, very valuable artifact. Almost like mythical, like the Holy Grail kind of thing. Because there's only one of them. And, it's worth millions and millions of dollars. It's like a priceless artifact, and they're trying to find it. And so we follow, Humphrey Bogart around through this film as he is gathering information to find out about this falcon. And there's, like, plenty of, like, backstabbing, lying, fibs, all kinds of stuff. And, guys, the story itself is very interesting, but the acting is where it's at. We've got all these great actors. There's a couple of scenes with Peter Lorre, the bug-eyed guy from way back in the Gap that Bugs Bunny used to, like, make caricatures of. But him and Bogart, they wind up getting into it, and Bogart, he plays a straight badass. He's sitting there at his desk, and he got his little tobacco pouch open, and he's got his little paper ready, and he sprinkles his tobacco in there, and he rolls his cigarette. And he just gets done rolling and knock on the door, and he puts it in his mouth, and he walks up to the room like, yeah, what can I help you with? And then next thing you know, Peter Lorre's got a gun on him, and he's like, you're going to tell me what I want to know, And so we're doing that, and he disarms Peter Lorre, punches him in the face, knocks him out, all while never losing this cigarette between his teeth, because he's that awesome. And then there's another scene later on where they're like, Peter Lorre, he like slaps him around a little bit, and Peter Lorre's like, you laid your hands on me again? And he's like, I'll slap you around all I want to, and you'll like it. And I was like, that is awesome, Bogey. He just played an awesome character in this. Peter Lorre plays the kind of mischievous ne'er-do-well. And then we have, oh man, I wish I'd have wrote, he's kind of a bigger gentleman. I like him. He's in several Bogart movies with him. I can't remember his name. I looked it up, and now I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he's kind of a bigger guy. He's in this. He's really good as the, I guess, head villain. He's the one with all the henchmen that are coming after everybody. And it was just, everybody's performance in this was solid, from the women to especially O'Shaughnessy, the lady who played her. she was excellent as well. She played the whole damsel in distress, yet kind of cunning fox lady as well. Like, everyone's performances in this were absolutely fantastic. I can see why this is considered one of the greatest noir films, or, you know, detective gumshoe films ever. I can see why it's in the top 10, top 5 even. This is a fantastic movie with stellar performances, a great story. The writing is kind of spotty. There are some points where you're like, well, how did they get to that? Or how did they get to this? And when did this happen? But at the same time, you have to look back. It's 1941. They didn't have these, you know, writing tables. It was normally probably just 1 or 2 people that did it. They didn't have committees for writing. This was, you know, and it wasn't as advanced, I don't want to say intellectually. I guess I will say intellectually. It wasn't as intelligent as far as writing. You know, there were some things they could say, some things they couldn't say. But for the time, the writing was very solid. Even if, looking at it through a modern lens, I'm looking at it and thinking, they probably could have written that a little crisper, made it a little more concise, maybe given a little more detail to the scene, that kind of thing. But overall, it fit with what they were going with, and it was an excellent freaking movie. I'm glad that I own it. I'm glad that I got to share it with my grandfather when I was little, even though I didn't understand it at the time. This is a stellar movie, guys, and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already seen it. You can rent or buy it on Prime, Blu Ray, DVD, that kind of thing. I haven't seen it streaming anywhere. I looked it up, and it doesn't say it's streaming anywhere. So those are your options to rent and buy it. But overall, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Check out the Maltese Falcon. And as always, my friends, hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. And I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you. And I will see you soon.